Hello everyone, I'm Rahul. I welcome you all on StudyIQ IAS. It's said, observational learning is among the finest form of learning. We all learn from seeing others, from seeing the journey of other people. But I still maintain that though it's very true that we learn from others, but it always better that whatever examples we have with us, they should themselves have accomplished something, and the characters whom we are following, they should be worthwhile to follow. UPSC announced its results. I came across many toppers, all of them having a fabulous journey of grit, determination, from whom we all can learn something. But I met one topper in Pune. We went to her house, we met her, congratulated her, we talked to her. And of all the toppers that I have seen so far, I felt she is among those who can give guidance in a better manner. More than better, I would say in a very honest manner. So, dear friends, please, I welcome you all to join with me, Avdhija, AIR 43. Avdhija, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
So let's get started. Like everybody is congratulating you. So very this let's start with very this rudimentary question. What's the feeling? How's the feeling? I know you have answered this thing multiple times, but still, what's the feeling?
Yes, sir. Sir, the feeling is great now that it has been over a week after the results have come. So it has sinked in pretty much, and it feels great. It feels great to be here, to be on the other side of the table, to have cleared this exam, to have entered and come out successfully of this. So having looking back at my journey, it really feels surreal of all the problems that I have come across, and now everything just seems worth it.
Avdija, one thing that I found very special with you, this I think should go to our audiences. You're very clear about this UPSC preparation, I think starting from class 7 itself. Am I right?
Right, sir.
So how did you get upon that? Like how it became very clear to you from a very young age that I have to go for this thing only?
Oh, sir, actually, since like you said, the first time this idea waved within my mind, and I had vowed to clear this exam. That was in class seventh. So inspiration of obviously came from my parents as well. My father, who introduced me to this nature of this service. And more so when I was in class 7th, so my sister cleared this examination, meri Moseri behan, so my mother's sister's daughter. And she was always an inspiration all across this journey. She is an IPS of 2011 batch. That definitely came as a thrust to my preparation. So when you see somebody in and around you, or somebody you knew well who cleared this exam, a confidence comes within you also that it is doable. So that was the starting point, and obviously I build upon that year on year.
So, Abhijit, we have started to get questions of aspirants. So, just all the aspirants who are watching right now, you can shoot your questions. We will take it. Before I move further, I would just ask you, this was the very basic thing which was very clear to you. But still, I have seen there are multiple students who just come to prepare for this examination who are not very much certain why they want to prepare this examination. So, and there are also students who think about this idea that they should be preparing for this
Right.
examination. So, if I have to ask you, like, what would be the thing that you will tell them, giving them the clarity that if this examination is really made for them or not? Like, what would be the clearing thing that they can find their why and how about this examination?
Right, sir. uh, Sir, this is a very comprehensive question. Like before coming into exam, if every candidate would know whether it is meant for them or not. So I would say, firstly, it's meant for everybody who is willing to enter this service with a genuine motive. And I think this is one of the very democratic exams, in the sense that in many exams these days, lot of criterias are there regarding colleges, regarding your previous qualifications, mark sheets, and the kind of educational backgrounds. So this exam does not require any of those. A basic degree from a basic institution is there, and some basic grades are there, and other than that, beyond that, everything that they would be studying is similar for all the aspirants. So no baggages of your previous failures or success. Everything would be a fresh year. So that is why I would say it is meant for everybody. It is a commoner exam. And apart from that, I would like to add one more thing to this question, that everybody aspires to clear this exam in the very first attempt, and I was one of them. So when I could not clear my first prelims, the only sadness that I had was I won't be the topper who cleared this exam in the first attempt, because we all have that in mind somewhere that we should make it in the first attempt. So that is definitely a thing. But everybody coming into this exam should be prepared that it can take 2, 3, or more attempts. On an average, those surveys keeps coming where it is said that 3 to 4 is the average attempt when a candidate clears this exam. There are very lucky ones also, and there are the ones who clear it in sixth attempt. So yes, just be prepared. I would say, like you don't plan this 5 year
5 year
plan.
planner.
Panchvarshiya Yojana. For me, it actually sadly, it ended up becoming Panchvarshiya Yojana. But don't plan that. Plan to clear it in 1 or 2, maximum 2 attempts, but be prepared because it is unpredictable.
So, Avdija, let me mix these two things. One, you said that this examination is a very democratic examination that anybody and anyone should attempt. And second, you're saying that don't plan it like a 5 year plan. So my question is somewhere midway. When an aspirant, though this is a very tough question, tough in the sense means difficult talk, which normally people avoid. When an aspirant should know that, okay, this is not meant for me, even before starting. We have not started, but are there any certain criteria that you would have seen many candidates across you, right? And where you must have felt that uh, he or she should have opted for some other opportunity, some better pathways. So what are those according to you? It could be like, just let me tell you, like there are certain people who are who are a bit weak in reading comprehension, let me say, or with their writing skills, or with their analytical abilities, or do you think that all of this, no matter even this may be a weakness, but still you can give it a try?
Yes, sir. Uh, Sir, on this, I would say there is no criteria as such. The intentions should be right. So a lot of people jokingly say that once I come into service, I will do this, that, if you know what I mean, the
Yes,
malintentions.
yes,
So definitely not for them, definitely, because that motivation is neither sustainable nor healthy and nor
yes,
good for the society.
very
So
correct.
certainly that is probably the only reason I see one should not try giving this exam. Otherwise, weak students, strong students, I have said this previously, that every class has a topper. Doesn't mean all of those toppers will secure a rank in this or will
Very
clear the examination. So it takes many attempts sometimes, and it is very challenging. That way, I would say, and even the students who were weak during their school studies, they pick up and they clear it in their early attempts. So for that, there is no such criteria that one should not attempt this examination because so and so background. Everybody should give it a try. What I would actually genuinely give my honest advice on would be, after 2 attempts, if you still see this going nowhere, try to find a plan B, because plan B would give you motivation, would keep you going in this journey, and side by side you can always keep attempting this examination for n number of time, for as many times you want to give an attempt. But plan B should be there, because these are the most formative years of our lives, our 20s, and we
correct.
should not let this go just for the sake of one examination year after year. So give dedicatedly two attempts. I think two should be there, and then you should think about plan B.
Avdija, you have given me one very good point to talk about. We have talked about people coming to this examination with various intentions. So, my point to you is a message that I want you to pass, because at a very personal level, I feel like whatever you're saying, like all those people who are getting into the system, they should be motivated intrinsically to serve the society, to serve the nation. But somehow there are nowadays certain examples, certain news starts coming up which demotivates you, which lets your confidence down. That somewhere down the line, good people, I would say, those people who genuinely feel it from their heart to serve the society, to serve the nation, to get into the services, they somewhere, they do not even make an attempt for it, seeing the reality or seeing the toughness of the things. So what would you suggest to those good people, that no matter what, they should come and at least try to make a change?
Sir, on this, this is a very difficult question actually. I would just say that Mahatma Gandhi's quote, one of his quote comes to my mind. I cannot recall word by word, but if you can
You can
understand that
paraphrase,
the
you can
ocean
paraphrase.
one, the
Hmm.
ocean one, that few
Hmm.
drops of untidy water does not dirties the entire ocean,
Good.
and goodness is equal to ocean.
Hmm.
So I think goodness is always there. Everybody on their personal level should be try to be a good human being, and this is also something very close. This factor is very close to my heart. This quality, that being humble, being a good citizen of the country, a good friend of the people around you, this is most important. And there is where luck matters. When people say luck doesn't favor me, so then I think this thing comes in, that if you are a good human being, luck will favor you this way or that way in maybe some other exam, maybe some other domain of your life. But being good human being is most important,
And
and this the same is the case with exam.
And this reflects very well with you. My personal observation, you can say, this reflects very well with you. So I'm glad that such nice and such people who are good, of great characters, they are qualifying these examinations. And Avdija, let's very quickly move forward. So just I've got two questions. People are starting that when is the ideal time to start their preparation? What would you say?
Sir, most ideal time would be after your graduation. If somebody has thought previously during college days or school days, don't. I would suggest somebody not to start during their school days. Nowadays, people are thinking, "Let me start reading Lakshmi Kant in class 11." That is something not advisable. You won't sustain that. So after college is the most ideal preparation. Is the most ideal timing.
So now, like I think to our audience, it would be clear who should prepare at what is the ideal time of preparation. Now, throwing the bomb on you, why do people fail in prelims?
Sir, I think I can take that bomb also, because I have failed that stage thrice consecutively.
Hmm.
And this was the very first prelims that I actually cleared. So, why do people fail in prelims? One simple point, and the most important, would be PYQs.
Hmm.
So, there are definitely other factors like not analyzing the questions properly there, not practicing enough mocks, not having a control over static portion, and also time management in the real exam, time and stress management. But having said these 4 points, most important still remains PYQs. So handling PYQ is something which will solve almost 40% of your problem. So that is one. These are 4 5 most important points.
So you think like, and why do you think that students, when they see material of all types in the market, like they शाम को walking पे निकले, and in each and every shop a certain new material is there.
Right.
In every Telegram group, after 1 2 hours, one new thing is bombarding as if like a capsule kind of thing, compilation, compendium. So what do you think? Like, how should a student, like you're saying that PYQs are the like your cornerstone, like which will guide you. So how can a student restrict himself to a core subjects, core course material?
Yes, sir. So this is very, very important throughout the journey to have basic books, maybe one book for each subject, maximum two. If you are starting your journey little early and you have some time, so you can read maybe another, but maximum of two books, minimum of one book for each subject, and current affairs also minimum of one source for current affairs. So this is something that everybody should adhere to. Question comes how? So that is a psychological game. You have to prepare your mind, you have to train your brain every day that what I'm doing is right. There are 1009 toppers this year, selected candidates, and there are 1009 strategies. So that means none of those have a similar, no two individuals have similar strategy. And if somebody wants to be among those, then you would also have a unique strategy. So don't follow any topper as such, and all the toppers would give different sources. Suppose I list down my sources, another one would have different. So if somebody is following these two, both of these two, there only it goes wrong. You have to follow one only, and stick to no toppers, because somebody finds some resource easy to read, somebody is a loyalist of some other institute. So be very selective in your material. Stick to Start with one material, you find it good, stick to that throughout your preparation, and all the materials are equally good, I would say.
And Avdija, like one special point which I would want you to reiterate. I think this was your fourth attempt in which you got the success. There were three attempts like where means success did not come to you. And like when we were discussing, we found one thing that this attempt that you gave, you're more carefree, I would say. Like you were like, okay, you're just enjoying the process or just letting it be, like whatever it may be, just let it be. The reason why I'm asking it, like after each attempt, when an aspirant completes his attempt, the next attempt, the pressure mounts up. In the next attempt, the pressure is more. So what happens, though people feel that after each and every attempt, the people, the family, the friends, they feel that, okay, this is one attempt, two attempt, now he would be knowing everything. But what they do not calculate is the pressure also keeps on mounting with each and every
Right.
attempt.
Right, sir.
So, like, what advice you have for people like who have given multiple prelims
Yes.
without any success, and I think they can learn a very great deal from you how you approach your fourth prelims
Yes,
or
sir.
fourth attempt.
Yes, sir. Sir, that is true. That pressure does mount up after every successive attempt. So, on this, I would say that after my second prelims, I prepared with with all the might, with every resource and every putting in lot of hours for my third attempt, and I was pretty sure I will make to the final list in my third attempt. And again, same story, no results found after prelims. So I keep on saying this, that this was the rock bottom of my life when I actually gave a thought to plan B, and not just plan B, plan A, because I was thinking of giving up UPSC forever and thinking of some other career path as my main option. So
Hmm.
I started preparing for PCS, and RAS, Rajasthan Administrative Service notification came out. So I prepared for that, and I cleared prelims and cleared mains also eventually. So that was the factor. Like you said, that in fourth attempt I was quite comfortable with the journey, enjoying the process. The reason was because I accepted the fact that exam is not something that would come very easy, and the life is beyond that also. So I started enjoying the process, and respecting the life, respecting the everyday efforts that I had been doing. I started respecting my own self after that. So that is why I was thinking that let me just give my 100%, and if after my exam I'm having the feeling that I could not have done better, so I'll be satisfied and I won't blame myself, ये कर लिया होता, वो कर लिया होता, मेरी गलती है. I won't do that. So that is why I became comfortable with the process.
And one good question we are having, like, what to do after you have failed your first step? Like,
Yes.
like, how did you recollect yourself after the
Sorry, sir.
failure? I think
Just a
this
minute.
is a very good
Just a minute.
question. Like, sure. So, dear friends, Avdija is still with us. Some of you have asked questions to me. You can still ask. I'm seeing your comments. I'm seeing your comments. I'm reading your comments. I'm just clubbing them together, and I'll ask her each and every question. And about Avdija, the best thing or the best part, which I feel like she is very honest. She's very vocal. Whatever she feels like, she says it, and there is no sugarcoating or no mixing of thing. All those who are with us would have seen that. Like she is very clear with her advices. So there are some more questions that we have. Yes, Avdija, I hope like everything is normal.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Sorry, sir.
Okay, so there is one question from Daksh from Karnataka. He's asking like, what should be the first step after failure? Let's say like we have talked about each and everything. Somebody is meeting a failure in prelims. So what should be the first step? Like
Advice. I'm sorry, sir. The advice to the for the prelims candidate.
for the candidate who has failed, like he has given his prelims and now that he has failed in the prelims, what should be his first step? Like how he should replan his journey? Because let me explain this question of Daksh. Like what happens when you have prepared for 1 year, 1.5 years, a thinking seeps into you that now I know everything.
Yes.
You go to the examination, you fail there. Now you do not know what exactly to do because what you have been doing for 1.5 year, if you keep on repeating that, the results will not be different. So how differently the next prelim should be taken up, next attempt should be taken up, so that the result is different?
Yes, right. I got the question. So, after the prelims failure, most important would be, see, now that the mark sheet has come, so one would know whether it is GS or CSAT and by what margin. So, first step would be analyzing that, taking your question paper again and matching it with UPSC answer key and having those real answers, that what were the answers, what was my answer, and then the analysis would come that okay, I am doing more mistakes in so and so subject. So first would be analyzing your paper and pinpointing the subjects that we are weak in. So we have to work on that. For example, in my case, the economics was a problem in first attempt because of lack of conceptual clarity. Gradually, economics became pretty good, and science and tech was also an area where I used to pay lesser attention because. Because of this basic lack of understanding of science. So that also I improved eventually in the further attempts, and I improved in science and tech also. So these are the areas you have to identify for yourself. Second would be whether you actually analyze PYQs, as I mentioned before, in the way it should be. So there are a lot of videos on PYQ of how to analyze them. You can refer to any of those, and in my opinion, best way would be analyze it on your own. Have those hard copies in front of you of for GS 2013 to 24, for CSAT 2015 to 24, and go question by question. Read the statements, vocabulary of UPSC, other options of UPSC, and that way you will be able to analyze better that whether we are doing PYQs in the right manner or not. So these ways should be looked into.
Okay. We have very detailed interview of yours also. So I'm just covering those points that we did not cover, or point something that would be helping the students more.
Right.
So in the prelim section, two more questions to you. One is about the CSAT. Like CSAT has become a nemesis for students. So what would be your solution to them?
Yes, sir. Sir, so this year now that score has come, so my score jumped from 59 to 104. So I
Okay.
think CSAT, I can speak on CSAT more than on GS. GS is pretty fluctuating, but CSAT is something that if you work hard, if you put your genuine effort in CSAT, you will score. So my maths, as I just said, science, maths, this area is weaker. And I have always faced problem in maths. So during my first attempt, first two, three, all those attempts, I was of the opinion that let me just do comprehension well and little bit of logical reasoning and I'll make through. And this is something that has been fooling me for 4 years. And this year I trained myself that you have to do maths. No matter what, you have to practice maths because comprehension is very unpredictable. And even with those answer keys that comes right after prelims, there is lot of variation from the
Variation.
UPSC answer key. So maths is something कि इसमें कोई variation नहीं आएगा. Right answer is right answer. Same with logical reasoning. Logical is something lot of students are comfortable with. So I won't talk about logical. Comprehension, I have one advice that work for me. Read the options first. First, as soon as you see passage, read the options, then passage, then option. That would give you an edge. This is one. And it sounds like it will take more time, but if you practice from PYQs only, then it would not. This is one. For maths, I would say maths is very important and non-negotiable. Absolutely. A person like me, जिसने क्लास 10th करते साथ ही सोचा था कि अब मैं मैथ्स तो बस हो गया, my life set, now I'm never gonna look into those books. So I studied maths rigorously before my fourth prelims. तो अगर मैं ऐसा कह रही हूँ तो it is important to accept the fact that maths is non-negotiable in your CSAT paper. So practice maths. If you are comfortable with 9th, 10th NCRT, do that. Or else do some worksheets. You will get those worksheets from Telegram and other free resources you can get. You can order your those test booklets जो होती हैं CSAT की. You can practice from there. And PYQs again. Practice all those those year PYQs that I just told you. You will see a pattern that these questions gets repeated. Just the numbers would change. Sometimes data को यहाँ वहाँ घुमा देंगे. Otherwise, that's similar. That's quite similar. So उनको timed manner में आप solve करें and take 1.5 hours time duration, solve them. You will definitely see a difference.
And Avdija, one more thing is there, we never know like in which year, which section would become tougher. It could be that mathematics could come a lot easier this year, comprehension could become tougher. So this way, like a balance should be taken up, right? Like no, nothing should be left to chance.
Absolutely nothing, nothing. Actually, thank you, sir, for bringing this also. Otherwise, यही एक थोड़ा contention बन जाता बाद में. Thank you so much. So yes, maths. When I say maths is non-negotiable, that means कि ये छोड़ के नहीं जाना है. That doesn't mean that you start your paper doing maths only, because sometimes you might end up spending lot of time on 3 4 question. You are wasting 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Don't do that. Give adequate time. For me, it was 1 hour for maths and logical, and 35 40 minutes for comprehension, rest for OMR filling. I used to fill OMR at the end.
Oh, that's a very, I would say, like in pressure kind of situation, that kind of approach could have backfired also. Like sometimes
Right.
it happens, like we are unable to fill the OMR itself. Like we
I
have
think
solved the
that
paper,
does come when one practice. So whatever
practice,
you want to do in the real exam, practice that in mocks.
practice before.
You're right. One should not try this directly in the exam. So in all my mocks, I used to fill OMR at the end. OMR filling would take not more than 10 minutes. I used to keep 20 25 minutes. So as
Mhm.
to have some time. When OMR is filled, then if time is left, you attempt 2 3 more questions if possible.
Okay, so Avdija, we'll again move to a very serious discussion. But before that, let me take one question that has come. For how many hours you used to study? Like this question of many things. Like so let's solve the doubt. Like how many hours it was? Like 18 hours, 19 hours, 20
No,
hours.
no, no. That is very utopian, I would
Hmm.
say. So it's
Hmm.
not possible. All these 5 years. For one thing, I would say I was consistent with 8 hours. So I
Hmm.
was consistent with 8 hours for 5 years in my journey. Except the, like, just an exam has got over, you have failed a prelims, you will take a break for say 1 month or so. Barring that, I studied for 8 hours every day, plus minus two, for 5 years. No, for
Hmm.
4 years, till I cleared my fourth prelims. Between prelims and mains was the perhaps only time in my life when I studied 12 to 14 hours, and I did not plan it. That automatically came. And anybody who has given mains would relate to this, that सुबह से रात हो जाती है, आपको पता ही नहीं चलता है. You just have 3 months and you have to do a lot: test series, note making, note revision, optional, essay. So this entire day just passes. So no, I didn't count as such, but as far as I remember, it was 12 to 14 hours between prelims and mains only. And after I cleared mains, again interview wasn't that stressed with hours. So again 7 8 hours during interview, and before prelims every day 8 hours.
Okay, Avdija. So let's move towards the main section. And now here comes a very valid question from Rohit Gehlot. Like there are certain students who start the preparation, and also I've seen with people who are already into the preparation. So what they do till the prelims approaches, 3 months prior to that, they keep on preparing from the perspective of mains. How right is this approach? And also along with that, what is the right time to prepare for mains?
Mm. Right. So for those candidates who will be attempting paper in 2026, for them the right time is starting your paper now.
Hmm.
Starting your mains preparation now. So you can start with mains. You can do mains till December. January should be your starting point for prelims. And this is also, I would say, 5 months for prelims if this is your first or second attempt. Afterwards, you can give 3 months. That would be enough.
Okay. And connecting these two things before we go deeper into the mains part, like this current affairs part, we missed discussion on this current affairs part. How would you cover the current affairs part? Like, would you read newspaper daily? That is the first very basic question. Did you keep notes of whatever you'd study on daily basis? And thirdly, like, what would be your suggestion regarding the monthly compilations versus day-to-day study of current affairs? These, like, just very generic thing.
Mhm. Okay, right, sir. So yes, I did read newspaper daily, and that is very important. These days, candidates are they used to type in YouTube. I've seen some of them doing that. Ki, how to clear exam without reading newspaper. So for that also it works. There are many strategies that way also. I wouldn't deny. For me, newspaper was not just something that would keep me in touch with current, but also it gives you fodder for mains. So you become very selfish and very in this preparation. आपको ऐसा लगता है जहां से जो मिल जाए ले लो, बस हर चीज
Hmm.
से इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, हर चीज में काम मतलब ढूंढते हैं हम। तो
Hmm.
न्यूज़पेपर में मतलब मिलता था that you will get fodder, you will get current, this, that, reading speed. So I used to read newspaper because there were a lot of benefits and it worked for me. So this is first. Second is current affairs. So daily current affairs, I did not used to do anything apart from newspaper. No note making and no daily current affairs from any other source. That was because I was more into monthly and yearly compilation. In my first two attempts, I used to do first three attempts. I used to do monthly as well as yearly. This year, I just did yearly because of paucity of time I had due to PCS also. So just yearly I did. Yes, sir. What was the third question?
Like day-to-day basic reading of current affairs, would you prefer, or would you prefer this monthly compilation? Like, what would you suggest?
So that depends from person to person.
Mhm.
If that suits somebody, please do daily current affairs also. For me, monthly and yearly was more feasible.
Now, you have got a great rank, so we assume, like, there's nothing to assume. It is like your GS section and everything has gone well in the mains. So the thing about the mains is that even if you keep on qualifying prelims, if you do not qualify mains, nothing happens. So what are the 3, 4 things that you'll suggest students or watching you, or who wants to take guidance from you? Like, what would be the basic thing for approaching mains that you'd suggest them?
Right, sir. Uh, right. So means for me now that marks have come, mark sheet has come. So I would say optional was my forte.
Okay.
It proved to be my forte. It gave me more than I expected, and I secured a 303 in history optional.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I think last time we talked on this, you were just saying that you're just waiting for the marks.
Right.
And it's, I think this would be among the highest marks, not only for history. I think in recent years, this would be the highest marks, if my assumption is correct.
Right, sir. So I'm not sure about
Could be,
whether
could be, it would
it
be
could
not the
could be.
highest, but the among the highest for very
Right,
sure.
sir.
No,
Right,
no
sir.
doubt about
Maybe.
that.
So, ever since Shruti ma'am rank one in 21 got 300 plus in history, I had this idea that history, you can get a 300 plus in history. And many people suggested me change your optional to something that will give you 300 plus or 290 plus. But I stuck to history because if one person can get, so can you. And by God's grace, it worked well. And 300, I could get 300 plus in history. So I would say any optional 300 plus, getting a 300 plus is possible, 290 plus is possible. You just have to give your best in that optional. That should be your forte, that should be the subject you absolutely love. You should have notes in that. These are the things. So as you asked ki mains ke liye kya kya important hai, one is optional. Prepare that option, choose that optional which you are very comfortable with. Second would be your notes for your gs as well as optional. So gs notes have some uniqueness in your notes, and write your notes in the same manner like you would write your answer, so that would come automatically. And third would be having the resources that you choose for mains. Firstly, you make the notes syllabus wise, and the resources that you choose, revise them, constantly revise them. I revised at least 5 6 times those mains notes, and that is why that got produced in the real answers in mock tests. Mock tests are also, it is followed by mocks.
Okay. One thing I want to ask, like when you go to mains, one thing that comes into picture when you're writing the answers, that analytical part of yours. It's not something that you have to produce from memorization or rote-based learning that we say. It's a bit different from your 10th and 12th boards, where analytical aspect has to come into your answers. So how did you develop that?
Right, sir. Sir, analysis of questions would develop, like I can approach this question in two ways. Two steps, I would say, two steps. First step would be reading the question very well. So
Hmm.
when a candidate reads this question, that capacity automatically develops कि reading karte karte you would have in mind that what are they asking. You will see the question, you will say, okay, this is the first part of it, circle that. This is the second part of, circle that. So before approaching, you have in front of you these two questions I have to approach.
Hmm.
And this is the first step. Second step would be practicing. So when you will write this a lot of times, and by writing, I don't mean complete answer writing. Making a blueprint would be enough. That these are the two parts of the question I have to approach, and practice in blueprint. That issues पूछे हैं और solutions पूछे हैं. So issues I would make a blueprint, solutions I would make a blueprint, introduction, body, conclusion. That way it would develop. And in blueprint also add data. So when you write data multiple number of times in your blueprint, so in actual exam it would also come.
And one thing one very common mistake which the aspirants make, or when they are doing practicing, when they are making this mains answer writing practice, or when they are writing answer, there comes a rigidity that whatever I am writing, I'm writing good. The person evaluating is not of that level. He's not able to understand what I'm writing. Whatever I'm doing is the best. So how to come out of this, dangerous mindset, I would say, because ultimately you have to take the feedback. I have
Yes.
seen there is no acceptance at all. Like there are certain candidates who do not accept at all. Like whatever feedback, whatever marks they get in mocks, or in the practicing answer writing practicing, or whatever anybody tells them, they just don't take that feedback at all. They're just like, whatever I'm doing, it's correct. So how did you come out of it? Because why this happens? Let's get on. Let's discuss on that also. Because whenever you write something after reading, you just feel as if you're doing it right, but it could be that you're not doing it right. So did it ever happen to you? That's the first thing. And those people who are caught in this cycle, like, what would be your suggestion to them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, this has happened to me. And what has happened to me, I'll narrate that. तो हुआ क्या था? There was I had a mentor. He was checking my essay copy, and for many days I was getting low marks in essay, and I wasn't able to chalk out where am I going wrong. And he called me up. He said यही कि essay क्या लिखा है, and थोड़ा सा harshly उन्होंने बोला. और एंड आई फेल्ट वेरी बैड कि यार इस एज के बच्चे को आप कैसे डांट सकते हो. मैंने कहा सर गलती क्या है.
Hmm.
The mistake that he pinpointed was the exact mistake that I failed to chalk out in all these papers. And I would say that because he did that, so I could write my actual essay well. And I have addressed this to him multiple number of times. Like, thank you, sir. आपने डांटा तो मेरे को समझ में आया. So never have this fake ego, this shallow ego with you that I am grown up and I cannot be scolded by a mentor or a teacher. इनको क्या आता है, उनको क्या आता है. Never do that. Never. Any advice you are getting, please graciously accept it. You don't know what advice will actually get you a rank there, directly a rank there. So this is how much it can matter. तो आप अपने सभी बड़ों की एडवाइस लें, नो मैटर व्हाट हैव, बड़ों की छोटों की डजंट मैटर. whosoever is giving you a genuine help or advice, accept it graciously.
Hmm. So now coming to this essay and ethics, did you prepare for these two papers differently, or this was sideways preparation only?
Uh, Sir, essay, I would say if somebody has a nag of writing, so you can do well in essay, just practice one essay paper, which will have two essay in it every month. Somebody, this I'm talking for somebody who will be giving in 26. One
Hmm.
essay every month, so you will have two essays. So you will get feedback and you will realize where you lies. Agar thoda weak hai, so you write two essays, two tests a month. And for those who will be appearing for mains this year in August, for them I would say right after your prelims gets over,
Good. So,
start writing essay. One test a week would be good. One test a week, if not possible, one test in 15 days. That should be there. And ethics is extensive. That you have to prepare well. Even I couldn't perform very well in ethics, like the marks have come, so I know. And I definitely would have worked harder in ethics given a chance. Like, thank God I don't have to again. But
well, there is no redemption for you now. Be happy that you're
no, I'm
you're through it.
I'm very very delighted
Hmm.
with everything. But I'm just saying that ethics is one area where there is ample scope. Rank one की marksheet आई है, so she has scored very good in essay, 140 plus.
Mhm.
And essay is one way where lot of difference comes in, 100 to 150. So there is some ethics, sorry, not essay, ethics 100 to 150 in ethics. So try to gain as much as in ethics. You prepare case studies, practice case studies, and read a lot for ethics. That would really help you.
Hmm. And now let's come to the optional part. Like, you have already discussed about the optional part. Like, you have already given few tips, like go for the optional, which you can study anytime, any number of times, any number of hours. Like anything, when we were talking, when we started, you're saying that this preparation means person to person things differ. So do you believe after qualifying that the number of optional subjects that we have, people, instead of going through the this thing, like the availability of course material, availability of mock papers or these test series, optional should be opted depending upon one's personality or what suits to their taste. Do you like now after qualifying, do you subscribe to this ideology, or you have some different criteria for selecting the optionals?
Sir, actually, for optional, like optional is such a big decision. So all these things would come into picture, I would say. Most important would be your love and interest for the subject. That would be point number one. Point number two would be material. I wouldn't deny that. Because there are some science subjects for which there is really paucity of material, and aspirants really struggle a lot. So if you have some basic source, your graduation notes, then perfect. I mean, graduation notes is the best idea that you can have for optional subject. So if you have material, if you have interest, and third would be your practicing, that would be on your part, your mocks and your note making and everything. So these are the three criterias. For me, history was a natural choice. The only difficult part was not giving up. Taking history was a choice, but there were advices of give it up and take, say, bad or socio or anthro, which are more scoring according to some people. So I would say, for me, difficult was sticking to my optional. And
And very sorry to interrupt you.
no, no,
With history optional, you'd not be the only one who has followed this course or contour, like where they were suggested to change the optional. Because I see this year on year. Like you are not the means. I've seen multiple such cases. Somebody having history optional, he is tempted to go for other optionals.
right.
So, what was the thing that stopped you? Like, this is my optional. I'll stick no matter what.
Sir, what stopped me was my, of course, interest that I had spent so many years, like 11, 12, then 3 years of college, then so many years of preparation. So I cannot give this edge up just for the sake of a rumor. This was my main motivation. And that's why I stuck to this. And my notes were also something that I kept on building. Like every year I refined my notes. And this year prelims was in June. So till January and mid February also I was refining my mains notes, history notes. I started prelims, but history notes I was continuously refining.
You used one word, rumor. So there comes a very good question on this. There are rumors after prelims that what would be the cutoff. So that takes away a good chunk of those people who would be qualifying prelims, but they do not prepare because of these rumors. After means, like there are rumors, they keep on spreading in the market that pattern would change, number of seats would decrease, and all these things. So your preparation journey of these many years, these 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it was, how did you avoided listening to these rumors? Like how would you keep on your focus, not lose out on your focus?
Yes, sir. Sir, one very good thing was that I was away from the
Hmm.
heart of this preparation. I prepared from home. The coaching and everything was there, but from home only, like online. Everything was online. So I would say being away from the center of the rumor was one thing that worked for me. But for those who are there, have faith on yourself. See, you are doing this preparation. You are giving your precious years in this preparation. Why would you give up anything? Why would you be so vulnerable and susceptible to the rumors? Knowing the fact that they are rumors, and that would change every now and then. So talking about this cutoff जो आपने बात करी, cutoff this year it was only 87. I was calculating my marks through various answer keys after prelims, and it was coming 92 to 95 only. I got 92, 92 to 95, and there were many people who were so sure that cutoff will be 100
Hmm.
this year. उस हिसाब से तो मेरा होता नहीं, और भी बहुतों का नहीं होता. So I did not buy in. I just thought that let the UPSC decide for
This.
itself. And people would say that cutoff will go 100 and 105. Somebody would go as high as 110. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter. This much of difference would not be there. Firstly, we have to understand that 75 to 80, 80, 90 itna rahega. It won't be 75 to 110 naturally. So and have faith that if you're having somewhere around 90 or even 85, if the paper is harder, start preparing for mains. See, if you have to give attempts, then not this mains, then next mains. Ultimately, you have to prepare for mains. So start preparing for mains. 2-3 दिन का break लीजिए, then start prepare and do easier topics like essay. So you start writing essay. Don't waste your time.
Okay, Avdija, we discuss about like this mains part. I'll just close on this very basic thing, like which is normally a doubt of aspirants. Uh, when you're preparing for mains part, like how much of that part, when we're studying for prelims, so prelims there is a set pattern, like 1, 2 prior to that or something like solve PYQs, solve mocks. So that pattern is set. But for mains part, there is no clear-cut strategy so far which has come out like during your preparation days this answer writing you should do, or once you are done with all your GS papers then you should start answer writing. So what would you say in terms of answer writing practice, when one should ideally start, or what could be the best approach for both for GS and optionals?
Right, right. So, for answer writing, what suited me, I would tell you. So daily answer writing did not really suit me, and the reason was that because I am from a humanities background and I have a knack of writing answers. So, time management was not very challenging for me. So that is why I did not do this daily answer. At the very initial stages of preparation, I wrote few daily answers, but that was not suiting me, taking more of my time. So what I did was writing mini tests. So doing 10 questions in 1.5 hour was way more favorable for me, because 1.5 hour won't be as tiring as 3 hours, and you would be writing something in some time management practice would be there. So I would do that once in 15 days at the beginning. After clearing prelims, I gave full marks.
Okay. So now we are moving towards the concluding part. Few questions I would take up. But before that, we have talked about prelims, we have talked about mains. Now here comes such a stage when a student or aspirant is facing breakdown. He is getting no breakthrough either through prelims, either through mains. Let's assume that he is in such scenario, which you were probably after your third attempt. So right now, like what should be the mindset of his? Like to start each and everything all over again. Like now, whatever you have told him, he knows each and everything. Now, our initial discussion was for those who were newer student or younger aspirants who would not be knowing. Now, from here on, this message or this part of the talk, your talk, would be for aspirants like even after this result has come in, who would have not tasted success, who would be feeling dejected, demotivated. What would be your message to them?
Sir, my message for them would be that since they have spent in so many of years in this preparation, and for especially for those who have even given an interview, your knowledge level is anyway unmatchable. Your experience is unmatchable, and you are those mini percentage population of the country who has given UPSC interview. So respect that, respect your own self for that. And even like, I was absolutely anxious before the result, and had I not cleared this exam, I might have given this prelims or not, but I prepared myself. I was preparing myself on that day since morning, that I won't blame myself for anything, that I would not curse myself for anything कि मैंने ये नहीं किया वो नहीं किया. I would respect, because I gave an interview and I gave whatever I could. So for my message for them would be, think wisely whether you want to continue with this preparation or not. If yes, again, give this prelims with courage, with the newer courage that this would be your last attempt. Rank one also had this. It was her fifth attempt. So start with another courage, this new page of your life. If you're thinking of a plan B, like I did after third attempt, then give that with all your heart, keeping in mind that your knowledge level is unmatchable already. So wherever you will step in, you will excel there.
Okay. Abdija, how are these UPSC interviews? Are they just like how they show in movies, like some typical questions comes in, or how are these interviews? Are these like how they show in movies, or these were something different, or so how were they?
Sir, UPSC Bhavan, the inside of UPSC Bhavan is exactly what was shown in 12th fail,
Hmm.
12th fail. That is
Okay.
exactly same. And when I saw that movie at that time, when I saw that I failed third prelims, it was a little bit after that, so I had no idea. When I went in there and saw that movie again, so I could verify it's that only, like that. Real interviews are obviously different. You can't expect them to show exactly what the real interview is like. It's very cordial. I
Hmm.
had Shilvardhan sir's board, and Board was very cordial. Interview went really well, and I have my transcript. I will share it with you also. So interview went well. It's different. It's different from what is usually shown.
And did you prepare for it, prepare for the interview in a conscious manner? I mean, like your preparation journey has been of 4 attempts. So while these 4 attempts, were you preparing yourself? Were you preparing, deliberately preparing for some hobbies or something as people do? Or it was just like year on year, you just keep on working on yourself, on your personality and everything, and it just went along. So what was your approach?
It was the latter, actually, because at the very beginning, few mentors told me that do not worry about interview. When you will reach that stage, we will guide you.
Hmm.
And this happened actually because reaching interview is also a very tiresome process. And those who get an interview call is a great achievement in itself, that you have cleared your mains. So
Hmm.
then lot of guidance pour in. Once you get an interview call, so there will be lot of people, experienced people who have given multiple interviews. They will be there to guide you. So wait
Hmm.
for that time. Meanwhile, just keep working on yourself. I did the same. The hobbies that I had since young age, I kept following that, and I wrote that. Those real hobbies I wrote in my DAF as well.
Okay, see, one incident is coming to my mind. Like we took a question from somebody from Karnataka. So one of my friend, he got a call around 2017, 18. He was staying in Karnataka Bhavan. He just called me. He said, I have attended 3 mock panels, 3 or 2 mock panels, and whatever advice they are giving me is radically differing. Means these are the polar opposites advices that I'm getting. One panel is telling me something, and the other mock that I'm giving, it is telling me something else. So next day he was having his interview, and he said, like, what should be I doing? So what would be your suggestion? I think you would be in a better position. So whatever I had to tell him, I told him. But what would be your advice to such aspirants who are lost because of contradictory advices which they get from a credible source?
Sir, most ideal advice would be, since you are preparing for civil services examination and that you will be serving the country, so every answer that you give there should abide by the constitution and the morality of the constitution, the essence behind constitution. So you are here to serve the nation, and whatever you say should be in favor of the nation, and should be syncing with the interest of the nation. That would be the most ideal approach.
That's amazing to hear. I think that solves each and every doubt of the aspirants. Now, Avdija, like this question, you talked about a movie, 12th Fail. So this preparation, as you also mentioned, like very formative years and very important years of any individual are involved in this thing. There are multiple things which uh, goes means which a student, which any aspirant goes through. So let it be on personal front, let it be like those who are working for them on professional front. And I feel like more than the academics, it's more about how you handle the non-academic part during this examination. So there are various issues. So did you face anything on the non-academic things? Like it could be motivation, it could be some stress, it could be anything. Like what would be your approach for the aspirants or for the student? How should they deal with it?
Sir, no, on non-academic front, my major concern was that I am now 24, 25 years old, and all the people of my age are earning. So this was my major concern, and I used to cry over it every now and then, that when am I going to start earning and this and that. There was no pressure as such from the family. It was
Yeah.
just this
Your own
मेरे
making,
दिमाग
like
का कीड़ा था.
we all
I could not.
ourselves want to. Hmm.
Yes. Yes, yes. I was looking down on this issue. Gradually, I improved upon this, but this was one non-academic front concern that I had. So again, think on this. I would say we have to think larger and look at the larger picture. That what you are aiming for is, of course, not easy, and it does take time. So I dealt with it with support of my family, with my friends. There were few friends there. They are still there, who stuck by my side all through this journey, despite my failures, despite the fact that I wasn't able to call them very frequently. They stayed by my side. So have a strong support system that will help you deal with the non-academic front of it.
Very, very nicely put. I think that's among the finest advice that could be given. Avdija, like this question, this could be a bit inappropriate, but still asking you, how much Avdija has changed post the result and how was she pre the result?
Sir, I maybe people knowing me would be able to answer better. But what change? I absolutely see no change. One thing I would say is I get to talk to more and more people nowadays since the result has come, and I do like interacting a lot. So I like making new friends, and I like interacting a lot. So this was one preparation that has kept me aloof for a very long time. So now I'm getting to interact. That is one thing changed from my side, which is of course I see it positively. Rest, my parents often joke about it that they still can't believe looking at me that she has already become so and so.
So
So
this is
they say that.
why no, this is why I asked this question, and this was not a question, but this was a compliment to you. The kind of personality I see in you, the kind of person you are, like it's very rare and it's very hard to come across people like you. So I'm very happy that people like you are qualifying this examination, and the way you have given all the suggestions, all the talks, that has honesty throughout it. And lastly, like before we'll end up, one beautiful comment for you has again come, ma'am. How fluent is your English? Like they want to know the secret of your fluency of this thing, like English. But let me tell you, dear friends, like she is equally fluent in Hindi also. So,
Thank
so
you.
this is again. So Avdija, if you want to share the secret, you can. Uh,
There is no secret as such. Like there, I have stayed in multiple states, and like when I was in, if I'm talking about the exact time when my English got improved, so when we moved to Kolkata, so their regional language is Bengali, and initially I was not fluent in Bengali. Now even I'm in Maharashtra, here main language is Marathi. So Bengali, Marathi, regional languages, you gradually pick up them. So initially you're not comfortable, and there people might not be comfortable in Hindi. So in my school, college, English used to be the, sometimes English used to become the only medium where I'm talking in. They are speaking in Hindi, they are speaking in Bengali, I know Hindi. So both of us are comfortable in English, so let's talk in English. So speaking became the reason why my English got fluent in Kolkata and now in Pune.
So, Avdija, it was really great having you on this talk today, and thanks lot for revealing your secrets, for telling these strategies which are going to help student across throughout our nation. And thanks a lot for joining. And in the end, like Avdija will close with your message, whatever message you wish to give, you can give it to our aspirants.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me here and for your kind words and from the side of the aspirants as well. One last message would be not related to preparation, but related to in general. As a person, I would just give this message that be a good human being, be an honest human being, be honest with your preparation. So when you are doing this preparation, don't do it for the sake of showing someone something that I'll become this, I'll prove you this, that. Don't prepare to show your parents that you are capable. They already know that. So just have an honest preparation, put in your honest hard work, and be a good human being. You will definitely succeed here or there in some or the other domain, but most important is being an honest good human being.
So, dear friends, I just hope you would have liked this talk, loved this talk. And as Avdija said, let's all try to become a good human, contribute towards the nation's progress. And thanks a lot for joining me. I'll see you again. Till then, take care. Thank you. Thank you, Avdija.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.